As I was saying, please don't discuss your testimony or the facts of the case with any other witnesses until we finish the trial, and you may step down and you may leave, sir. Thank you, Your Honor. You're welcome. The people may call their next witness, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. The people call Richard Seneff.
If you don't mind, I'm going to have to leave the courtroom for a little bit.
Did you need to just step outside?
Yes, is that all right?
Yes. We had discussed this matter earlier, I believe.
Yes.
All right. Counsel has permission, so ladies and gentlemen, bear with us for just a moment.
You're going to wait. You don't need to pause the trial. Mr. Gorgian's going to handle it.
Well, that's up to you.
Well, that's what I'm saying is Mr. Gorgian's going to handle it. That's why I'm taking this opportunity because I couldn't make this.
Oh,
Did you understand? I need to make this.
That's fine. Okay.
Thank you.
So Mr. Chernoff certainly has the authority to leave, and he's just going to step out, and that's fine. Mr. Gorgian, you're going to be handling the matter? Thank you. All right, Firefighter Seth. First things first, can we remove the exhibit, please, the People's 42, please? Sure. And then Mrs. Benson will administer the oath to Firefighter Seth. Thank you.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly state that the testimony you may give in the cause now pending before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
So help me God.
Please be seated. Please state your name for the record. Spell your first and last names.
Richard, R-I-C-H-A-R-D, Seneff, S-E-N-N-E-F-F.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Let me provide you with some instructions that I give to every witness in every case. The first of which is to please sit back and relax. The second of which is to speak loudly so we can hear you. The third of which is to answer a question which calls for a yes or no by using those terms rather than slang uh-huh or uh-uh. And the last, wait until you hear an entire question before answering it, and that way we won't have people speaking over each other at the same time. Is that all okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Direct, please. Ms. Brazil.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Seneff.
Los Angeles City Fire Department.
And what is your position?
I'm a firefighter paramedic.
How long have you worked as a firefighter paramedic?
27 years.
Would you describe for me, please, your paramedic training? When did you first begin your career as a paramedic?
I became an EMT, emergency medical technician, in 1980. I went to paramedic school in 1982.
What does paramedic school consist of? Describe that for me.
It's a 1,000-hour program. Usually takes about 6-7 months. It's 2 months in the classroom, 1 month in the emergency room, and then 2 months writing third person on a paramedic unit.
As sort of a trainee?
As a trainee, correct.
During these certification training, who teaches those classes to you?
In the clinical setting, the hospital, it's doctors and nurses. When you're in the emergency room, it's the same, nurses and doctors. And naturally, when you're in the ambulance or paramedic unit, it's paramedics.
And once you're finished with the EMT required courses, do you receive certification?
Yes, that's correct, by the county that you're in and the state.
EMT certification. Did you go to work for Mercy Ambulance Company?
I did. I worked for Mercy Ambulance in Rancho Cucamonga area for approximately 2 years, 2.5 years.
And when you left Mercy Ambulance, did you go to work for the fire department as a paramedic?
That is correct.
During the time that you worked as a paramedic for the fire department, did you receive training to become a firefighter?
Yes, that is also correct. I went through the fire department drill tower.
What's your current assignment, Mr. Seneff?
I'm currently an emergency medical technician and instructor at our fire academy.
Is that duties including teaching recertification to fellow firefighters as well as fellow paramedics?
I teach exclusively to EMT firefighters.
I'd like to turn your attention now to Thursday, June 25th, 2009. Where were you assigned on that date?
Fire Station 71 in Bel Air.
And where physically is Fire Station 71 located?
It's at the corner of Beverly Glen and Sunset.
On that day, did you receive a 911 call directing you to 100 North Carrollwood?
Yes, I did.
Did that call indicate to you information about the nature of the emergency?
Yes, it did.
For the record, Mr. Chernoff has re-entered the courtroom. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. What information did you receive at the firehouse concerning a particular 911 call directing you to 100 North Carrollwood?
Came over the audio system in the station, cardiac arrest, CPR in progress, 50-year-old male, 100 North Carrollwood.
Patient not breathing?
Patient not breathing.
When you receive this information, is it an audio call that comes into your station over a PA system?
Yes, we have an audio system in the station, and that's how we initially hear it. We then go to the teletype, where a printout comes out on some paper, and we get into our apparatus where it's up on the computer screen.
And exhibit one page, may it be marked People's number 43, please?
It is. Would you like the lights dimmed?
Not necessary right now, Your
All
Honor.
right, you let us know, please.
I will, thank you. May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
Mr. Senna, please take a look at the exhibit marked as People's number 43. Tell me if you recognize that document. It's also on the overhead projector.
I do recognize this document.
What is this document?
This is the teletype that we got at the station.
The one that you were just referring to in your previous statements, correct?
That is correct.
And before we get to any of the handwritten notes on here, there is typewritten information. Do you see that on the exhibit?
Yes, I do.
Is that what you're referring to as the teletype information that comes into your station conveying information about the nature of the 911 call?
Yes, it is.
911 call concerning the emergency at 100 North Carrollwood come into your station?
1222.
And is that reflected on People's number 43?
Yes, it is. It would be...
Before we get to specifics on the exhibit,
Okay.
I want to ask you just a couple of more questions, and then we'll cover what's on there. So 1222, the call comes into the station, and what's the next thing that you do in response to that information?
We grab the teletype, get in the apparatus, and head out the doors.
What's the apparatus?
I'm sorry. In my case, it was the rescue ambulance, paramedic ambulance.
And are you the driver or the passenger in the rescue ambulance?
I am the passenger in the rescue ambulance.
Who's driving?
Martin Blunt.
When you and your colleagues embark on an emergency call such as this, do you prearrange who is going to do what once you arrive at the emergency situation?
That is correct. In the morning, we decide where everybody's placed. Where you're sitting on the apparatus entails specific jobs and responsibilities.
And the apparatus, again, that's the rescue ambulance,
The
correct?
rescue ambulance, in my case.
So you told us that you're positioned in the passenger compartment of the rescue ambulance, and your colleague, Martin Blunt, is the driver, correct?
That is correct.
What are your responsibilities going to be? Just briefly, an overview once you get to the 100 North Carrollwood location.
I'm the team leader, the medical team leader. I'm the radio man, communications. I gather, assess information, and write the reports.
In addition to you and paramedic firefighter Mr. Blunt, do other emergency personnel join you in your response to 100 North Carrollwood?
Yes, Engine 71 with the engineer, the fire captain, a firefighter, and an additional paramedic.
The distance in miles from Station 71, located at Sunset and Beverly Glen, to the 100 North Carrollwood location?
I would guess a mile and a half.
Very short distance, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Now, turning your attention back to People's Number 43.
Just a moment, please. Juror request? Well, counsel didn't ask, but that's what I originally asked.
Yes, I just want to set up and then I'll ask. Thank you. Thank you.
Hold the thought,
No,
juror number 2.
That was fine. Thank you.
All right. You ask? Let the lights be dimmed.
Thank you. Mr. Seneff, I'd like to go over the information contained on People's Number 43, the teletype that you received prior to departing from Station 71. And I see that there's handwriting on the exhibit as well. Do you recognize that handwriting?
I do. It's my handwriting.
Very well. I'd like to focus your attention right now only on the typewritten information contained on the exhibit. We're going to get to the handwritten information at a later point in your testimony. Is that all right?
That'll be fine.
So starting at the top, the first line, tell me what this information conveys.
Engine 71, Rescue Ambulance 71.
The second line,
The address, 100 North Carrollwood Drive, and the closest cross street, which is Sunset Boulevard.
and the next line, please.
The incident number, it's how we keep track. It's incident number 512.
Yes.
And 512, it's a cardiac arrest. The 1221 is the time the call came into our dispatch center, followed by the date, and 50-year-old male. The next line is the protocol number that the dispatchers, 9, I believe, is cardiac arrest. He is not breathing at all.
So far, this is the information that you've received from the 911 call. Does this information come almost instantaneously at the time that the 911 operator is receiving the information?
Yes, that is correct.
And the next line?
That's the phone number that the call came in from. And that's the radio channel, and that's whose area it is, 71's.
That would be your designation, correct?
That is correct.
And the next line?
The dispatch time when we get the alarm at the station at 12:22.
Now, what's the significance of you hitting the alarm? What does that mean?
I'm sorry?
You said that 12:22 reflects the time that you hit the alarm. Is that correct?
No, that's the time the alarm comes into the station.
12:22?
That's correct. And it's the date, and the other console part, I believe, is the dispatcher who took the call.
Very well. And the next line?
It's a 911 call through a wireless phone. And I don't know what the Beverly Hills PD part, but the query caller means that the caller is still on the phone.
Very well. And on the last two lines means what to you?
It's just the time. It's 911 call where the call originated.
So 12:21:04 is the call originating perhaps through the Beverly Hills PD that was then transferred to the closest responding unit, correct?
Yes, that would be correct.
And then we have information here that is further on down in the timeline related to perhaps activities at UCLA, correct?
Yeah, when we first got there, we need to get a patient identification number for the records, and that's the sticker for the patient identification number. So that's a UCLA sticker.
Very well. May I have the lights, please, Your Honor?
You may.
So you have a certain amount of information concerning the nature of the call, the location where you're to respond to. Paramedic Blunt is driving, you're in the passenger seat of the rescue ambulance, and you all respond to...
I'm going to sustain the objection.
You respond to 100 North Carrollwood, accurate?
That's correct.
And when you arrive at the location...
May I ask if this would be a convenient point to take a break?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Before we do, may I just see counsel for a moment?